Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So ये video initially I was making top 10 books of all time out of all the books that I have read, top 10 books, and it was so hard. I mean, to pick 10 books in my 2021 list is comparatively easy because there are limited number of books, but top 10 books of all time, I mean in total I have read around 100 books and I just couldn't. So then, okay, I thought what to do. So I started elimination process. Instead of picking top 10, I just kept removing books I didn't like that much. Even then, it was not possible to reach till 10 number, and there was, now I'm not saying that all these books were equally good or I loved them equally or liked them equally. It was not like that, but there was some reason or other that I wanted to keep these books in my list. Then I thought, why not, instead of top 10 books of all time, I share with you all the books that I enjoyed reading till now, books that I like for some reason or the other, books that I can vouch for, books that I can tell you that, this book is this good, this book is that good, and you should read this for this purpose or that purpose. And I thought, yeah, that's better. It's like an entire wrap up of all the books that I have read, all the good books. So the list of books, that's pretty big. There are 33 books that I am going to talk about. So out of all the 100 books that I have read, around 1/3 are good, or 1/3 I liked for one reason or the other, and that's what I'm going to share with you. We might have to do this video in parts if I take a lot of time explaining, but let's see how much I talk about each book. So yeah, let's get started. Moving forward, I'll share with you all 33 books that were great, that were amazing for one reason or the other, and I'll share with you why I like those books, why you should read them, and more. So let's get started. Normally at this part I pick up all the books and I give you a little glimpse of them. Okay, these are the books I'm going to talk about, but there's no way that I can pick up 33 books at a time, not right now. So okay, let's just get started. Okay, so we are going to start with the book that is my favorite. I can say that book is my favorite, and I really liked reading that book. That book was very enlightening for me, and this one is The Power of Now. Now about this book. This book is very beautiful. It tells you a lot, and it is one of the most simple book that I have read, and that is one of the reason why I absolutely love this book. जो चीज़ें इस बुक में लिखी गई हैं वो चीज़ें मैंने बहुत बार अलग बुक्स में भी पढ़ी हैं, जैसे कि ओके, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेक द नेम्स, बट और भी बहुत सारी बुक्स में मैंने वो सारी चीज़ें पढ़ी हैं, सेम चीज़ें जो इस बुक में बताई गई हैं, बट उसमें उन चीज़ों को और कॉम्प्लिकेट कर दिया जिस तरीके से उसमें एक्सप्लेन किया है. बट इस बुक में वही मैसेज बहुत ईजीली, बहुत ही सिंपल तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया गया है, एंड दैट्स व्हाट मेक दिस बुक द मोस्ट ब्यूटिफुल बुक. I mean, I read this book long time ago. After that मैंने बहुत सारी books पढ़ी हैं, but none of them could come near this one. And it's not just me. Other people that I have talked to about this book, they share a similar experience. This one is a very enlightening book, a spiritual book, and it's not कि आपको बहुत कुछ ज्ञान देगी ये बुक बहुत ज़्यादा. It's not like that. It will tell you the real things in a very simplistic way, and just read this just trust me and read it. That's what I would say. It is my favorite book, and just trust me, pick this book up, read this book and see for yourself. मैं बहुत बार जैसे लिस्ट बनाती हूँ बुक्स की, लाइफ चेंजिंग बुक्स, बुक्स फॉर सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट, बुक्स टू नो मोर अबाउट लाइफ, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, हमेशा ये बुक होती है, बिकॉज दिस बुक इज़ लाइक अ वन स्टॉप सोल्यूशन टू एवरीथिंग. if you feel anxious, if you need some answers, if you just want to grow as a person, if you want to know more about life, anything, then this is the book. So means मैं कितना और बोलूँ कि आप बस ये बुक उठाइए, आप इसे पढ़िए, एंड यू विल सी फॉर योर सेल्फ व्हाई दिस बुक इज सो ग्रेट. सो यस, दिस बुक life changing for sure. Next book that we are going to talk about now, this one is a fiction, and it's The Kite Runner. This one is also a very beautiful book, moving book. जब मैंने ये बुक पढ़ी थी, I just couldn't put it down, and it's not just कि मैं इसे रख नहीं पाई नीचे. This book means at times it was so hard for me to read what was happening in this book, and I was so unaware of the things, how things work in a different part of earth, or how other people live. I mean, this book was such an eye-opening book. So this book is basically set in Afghanistan, and उसके बाद as Taliban gained power, so एक वही स्टोरी है, and it's very moving. And this is one of those books that will stay with you forever. मतलब ये स्टोरी आप नहीं भूल पाओगे, हमेशा आपको याद रहेंगी. इस बुक की कुछ लाइनें आपको हमेशा याद रहेंगी. It is one of those books that touch you and that leaves a mark on you. It is that kind of book. आप किसी भी लिस्ट में देखोगे ऑनलाइन आपको ये बुक मिलेगी, and it is totally worth the hype. It's not an overhyped book. जितना भी प्रेज इस बुक को मिला है, दैट्स टोटली वर्थ इट. एंड अगर आप भी ये बुक पढ़ोगे, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, यू विल रिलेट टू दिस बुक, यू विल फील अटैच्ड टू दिस बुक, एंड दिस बुक विल always have a very special place in your heart. So this is one of those books that always stays with you. I read this long time back as well, and this has stayed with me, and I am sure whoever reads this book, whoever has already read this book, they can say the same thing. So yeah, this book is in this list for this reason. Next book that we are going to talk about is Attitude is Everything. This is one of those books that is very positive, a book that will give you good vibes, and a book that will push you to change your attitude, because as it is said on the book, attitude is indeed everything. The only reason that I got this book was its thinness. मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि अच्छा मैं बुक पढ़ लेती हूँ तब ख़त्म हो जाएगी, and it's very easy to pick such books ना, जो छोटी सी होती हैं कि ठीक है ये बुक तो पढ़ लेंगे, but this one turned out to be really great. मुझे ही सबको, like my mother also read this book and she also really liked it, and जिन लोगों को और मैंने recommend किए, they also liked it. Yeah, you know, it is tested, and yeah, one of those books that will give you positive vibes, that will make you feel good. In इस book के author ने इसी बारे में बताया. I think he was a lawyer first, and then he decided to change his attitude, how he looked at things. He decided to see glass as half full instead of half empty. He changed his attitude, and then how his life changed. और उसके बाद उन्होंने और एटीट्यूड के बारे में बताया, हाउ वी शुड कीप अ पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड, हाउ वी कैन अचीव एनीथिंग दैट वी वांट, एंड मोर ऑन दैट. बहुत अच्छी सी बुक थी, बहुत अच्छा लगा ये पढ़ के. सो दैट इज़ द रीज़न वाई यू कैन रीड इट टू, जस्ट टू सी हाउ एटीट्यूड कैन हैव अ बिग इम्पैक्ट ऑन योर लाइफ. Know more about it. So very nice, beautiful, sweet little book, and that is why you should read it. Okay, so the next book that we are going to talk about is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. So जिस तरीके से इस बुक के बारे में अभी जो आपने टाइटल से सोचा होगा, it's that only, how all the things that we sweat about, all the things we worry about or constantly think about, it's not that big of a deal, and we should not worry about these things. I read this line somewhere. I don't means there was a politician, I think, and he gifted a book to another politician, and उसके ऊपर जैसे लिख देते हैं ना, मैसेज लिख देते हैं. सो उन्होंने ये लिखा था, डोंट स्वेट द स्मॉल स्टफ एंड इट्स ऑल स्मॉल स्टफ, ऐसा कुछ यही लिखा था. एंड उसके बाद मैं बुक स्टोर में गई, एंड आई जस्ट सॉ दिस लाइन. सिर्फ इस लाइन के लिए मैंने बुक ली है. That is the entire reason why I got this book. It was like, okay, yesterday I read this line and now this line is on the cover, so I am getting this book, and it was worth it. I do not regret getting this book on an impulse. It was a very beautiful book. Okay, so this book contains 100 different chapters, और सारे chapters एक या 2 पेज के हैं, that's it. तो आप, एंड ऐसा भी ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक ये बुक पढ़ो, आप कोई भी रैंडमली चैप्टर पढ़ सकते हो. इंडेक्स में आपको सारे टॉपिक्स सीख जाएंगे, एंड टॉपिक्स आर ऑल्सो वेरी सिंपल, ब्यूटिफुल, पॉजिटिव, लाइक चूज बीइंग काइंड ओवर बीइंग राइट, प्रैक्टिस ह्यूमिलिटी, and develop your own helping rituals, argue for your limitations and they are yours, and much more. Very, very positive, very beautiful book that you can read on a day when you are feeling down, when you are feeling low, and this book will surely pick you up. So a very beautiful book. some of the points in this book were pretty amazing, and I liked how they were presented in bite size so everyone could consume it very easily. So that is why this book is here. You can pick this book anytime, you can read any chapter of this book. Very beautiful, feel good, positive books, like kind of as we talked about earlier, attitude is everything, but that was a complete story and some tips. But इसमें 100 chapters हैं and you can read any chapter you want. So yeah, that is why this book is here. Next book that we are going to talk about, I do not have the physical copy of this book because वो मैंने अपनी फ्रेंड से लेके पढ़ी थी. इनफैक्ट मेरी एक फ्रेंड ने मुझे दी थी वो बुक, तब मैं ज़्यादा बुक्स नहीं पढ़ती थी, एंड उन्होंने कहा था कि यू नो दिस इज़ अ गुड बुक, यू रीड दिस वन, एंड इट टर्न आउट टू बी रियली ब्यूटिफुल एंड आई रियली लाइक्ड इट. एंड इट्स नन अदर देन 2x2 बाय निकोलस स्पार्क्स. उनकी ये दूसरी बुक द नोटबुक, और उस पर बेस्ड जो मूवी है द नोटबुक वो काफ़ी फेमस है. सो द सेम ऑथर ने ये बुक लिखी है 2x2. द रीज़न वाई आई रियली लाइक दिस बुक इज़, एक तो यू नो जिस तरीके से वो बुक्स लिखते हैं, इट्स वेरी नाइस, वेरी ब्यूटिफुल. He is a great writer obviously, but one of the main reason why this book stuck with me was there's a very beautiful father-daughter relationship in this book, and that's what I loved about this book. That's why this book stayed with me, and that's why I'm recommending this book. So a very beautiful light read. So ये आप बुक पढ़ सकते हो whenever you are in for a more of a casual read instead of learning something from this book. और even fiction books भी बहुत बार किसी issue पे based होती हैं, like द काइट रनर जिसके बारे में हमने पहले बात की, दैट वॉज नॉट अ लाइट रीड, बट दिस वन इज. तो आप ये बुक उठा सकते हो. दिस वन इज़ अ गुड बुक whenever you just want to relax, have a good read a good book, then you can pick this book up. And yeah, it's a very nice book. So I keep recommending this book, but I don't think I recommend this book enough, which I should. So yeah, it's a reminder for me also, recommend this book to more people. Let's start with here, and I'm recommending this book to you all. So very nice book and a casual read. So you just pick this book up and read it. Next book that we are going to talk about, again I do not have copy of this book. This one also I borrowed it from my friend, and it's The Alchemist. I don't think I need to say much about this book. बहुत ही ज़्यादा famous book है. I think हर किसी ने सुना तो ज़रूर होगा इस book के बारे में. So and that is why I wanted to read this book, because even though at that time I didn't used to read much books, but this one was very popular. The Alchemist, मैंने सुना बहुत था इस बुक के बारे में, इस बुक का नाम बहुत सुना था, एंड मुझे लगता था इस तरीके की बुक बोरिंग होती है जो ज़्यादा फेमस हो जाती है, जैसे जो मूवीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस होती हैं या फिर जिन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा प्राइजेस मिल जाते हैं, वो मुझे काफ़ी बार ज़्यादा पसंद नहीं आती. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई थॉट ऑफ दिस बुक. बट नहीं, दिस बुक टर्न आउट टू बी ग्रेट. मीन्स उस समय मुझे इतनी अच्छी नहीं लगी थी, बिकॉज मुझे समझ ही नहीं आई थी ये बुक इस तरीके से जो होता है ना कि बुक में कुछ और लिखा है, उसका कुछ डीप मीनिंग है, बट इतना भी कुछ नहीं है कि आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा या फिर बहुत टाइम के बाद आपको ही समझ में आएगा. उस समय आई वॉज आई थिंक स्टूपिड, तो मुझे क्लियर नहीं हुआ था ज़्यादा, एंड आई डिड नॉट रियली अंडरस्टैंड दिस बुक. बट जैसे मैंने और बुक्स पढ़ी तब मुझे क्लिक हुई बहुत सारी चीज़ें उस बुक की, एंड दिस बुक हैज़ बिकम वेरी नाइस फॉर मी. सो आई रियली लाइक दिस बुक नाउ, and that is why you should read this book as well. This book is about a shepherd who sets out towards his goal, towards achieving his dream, and उसे नहीं पता क्या क्या मिलेगा रास्ते में, where this dream of his will lead him, which people he will meet, but along the journey he met उन्हें बहुत अच्छे लोग भी मिलते हैं, and he learns very important life lesson, and eventually he realizes that he can achieve anything that he sets his heart to. And yeah, so it is kind of like that. This book is for all dreamers or people who want to achieve something, so you will feel really good reading this book. It is kind of like that, and it's a classic. so popular and अच्छी है ये बुक. सो इसलिए आप इस बुक को पढ़ सकते हो. सो really nice, and especially people who are running after their dream, who are setting out to achieve something, या फिर who who just want to achieve something in life. So you'll really like reading this book. So yeah, do read it. Next book that we are going to talk about is How to Talk to Anyone. So ये book इसीलिए मैंने ले ली थी, How to Talk to Anyone. So I thought, because I am an introvert, so I thought this book might help me in social situations, and it did. एंड अगेन दिस बुक, जैसे मैंने अभी पहले बुक के बारे में बताया था आपको, डोंट स्वेट द स्मॉल स्टफ, जो आप कोई सा भी चैप्टर पढ़ सकते हो, कहीं से भी बुक पढ़ सकते हो. दिस बुक इज ऑल्सो लाइक दैट. दिस बुक हैज बीन डिवाइडेड इन पार्ट्स. आई जस्ट टेल यू. पार्ट्स लाइक मीन्स डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशन में आप कैसे रिएक्ट कर सकते हैं, और डिफरेंट सेटिंग्स में हाउ यू कैन अप्रोच पीपल, हाउ यू कैन टॉक टू एनीवन, काइंड ऑफ लाइक दैट. सो और उसके बाद इन टोटल द नंबर ऑफ चैप्टर्स 92. ओके, सो आई थिंक सब टाइटल भी है 92 लिटिल ट्रिक्स फॉर बिग सक्सेस, एंड इट इज़ लाइक दैट. छोटे छोटे चैप्टर्स हैं, बहुत सारी टेक्निक्स बताई गई हैं, हाउ यू कैन अप्रोच पीपल, हाउ यू कैन टॉक टू देम, हाउ यू कैन टॉक टू एनीवन, यू नो. एंड इट्स नॉट लाइक टेक्निक बताई गई है, बताया गया है ह्यूमंस के बारे में, हमारे नेचर के बारे में, हाउ वी थिंक अबाउट थिंग्स, how we feel about things, and knowing that how you can, instead of using these tricks and techniques, how you can inculcate these qualities in yourself so you can become a better communicator, how you can communicate more effectively with other people. So this book is not just all that कि मैनुअल दे दिया आपको कि यू नो ऐसी सिचुएशन में डू दिस. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. कोई मैनुअल नहीं है, एक्सप्लेन किया गया है, बताया गया है. सो दिस बुक इज नॉट जस्ट about how to talk to anyone, but also contains some very amazing life lessons. Reading this book, you will obviously learn how to navigate situations better whenever you are in an unknown territory or in a social situation that you don't want to be. So that is there, but also you will learn some very valuable life lessons. So yeah, that is why I really like this book, and it is so damn easy to read, because मुझे सारी बुक्स बहुत अच्छी लगती है जिनके छोटे छोटे चैप्टर्स होते हैं, बिकॉज एवरी टाइम यू आर कंप्लीटिंग अ चैप्टर दैट गिव्स यू अ सेंस ऑफ विक्ट्री कि ओके यू हैव डन समथिंग. सो ईजी होता है इन बुक्स को पढ़ना, एंड दैट इज़ वाई इस बुक को पढ़ना भी बहुत ईजी था. एंड मोर देन दैट, इस बुक की टिप्स बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी हैं. मुझे लगा था कुछ ही टिप्स अच्छी होंगी, बाकी ऐसी कुछ भी फालतू की बकवास होगी, बट इट वॉज नॉट लाइक दैट. I would say 99% of the tips in this book were good. Not just good, they were practical, they were implementable. So it is like that. कुछ बुक्स होती हैं जिनके बस 2-3 चीज़ें अच्छी होती है जो आप अप्लाई कर सकते हो, बाकी इट्स जस्ट थ्योरेटिकल और एनीथिंग, इट्स नॉट. इस बुक की सारी टिप्स, ऑलमोस्ट सारी टिप्स बहुत प्रैक्टिकल हैं. सो यू कैन रीड दिस बुक, यू कैन लर्न टिप्स, you can understand things, and you can apply them, and this book will really help you. This book will do just that, as it says, how to talk to anyone. So yes, pick this book for that, and also for some amazing lessons. Next book that we are going to talk about is The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down. Now this book is I don't have words for this book. This is one of those books that I absolutely love for no reason at all. This book just made me feel really good, and जो चीज़ें इस book में लिखी गई हैं, so this book has been means every single thing that resonates with meaning, and it's very beautiful, positive, feel good kind of book. And again, इस book, ये भी book ऐसी है जो आप कहीं से भी पढ़ सकते हो, कुछ भी chapters पढ़ सकते हो, and you like everything. It is like that. I got lost into this book. very beautiful, positive, very amazing book. जैसे इस बुक का सबटाइटल भी है हाउ टू बी काम इन अ बिजी वर्ल्ड. सो दिस बुक डिड जस्ट दैट. दिस बुक calmed me down, and while reading this book I was in a very beautiful place. So yeah, all the people who feel anxious or who panic at times, who just want a little time out, so you can read this book. It's a very beautiful, blissful read, and I'll just show you the chapters in this book. It's like, you know, there are these little sweet paragraphs. You will feel really good reading this. इसके बाद इनफैक्ट मैंने दूसरी बुक भी मंगवा ली इनकी, and that was Love for Imperfect Things. अभी मैंने पढ़ी नहीं है, I don't know why, but अच्छा अभी नहीं पढ़ी मैंने वो बुक. But this book was a surprise for me. I didn't know this book would turn out to be so good, and I'll end up loving this book so much. As I'm talking about it, I'm thinking about rereading this book as well. So, yeah, it's, I just got it because the title was intriguing. The things you can see only when you slow down, how to be calm in a busy world. So I thought, yeah, I can, let me see what this book is about. And yes, that was a good decision on my part. And just, so this is another book. Just trust me and get this book, and then you can thank me, because this one is amazing. Underrated book, because I have not seen this book much online. Pick this book up and read it. You will feel really good. Very, very beautiful book. Okay, so the next book that we are going to talk about, again, I do not have a physical copy of this book. I got it from my friend, and this book is If You Could See Me Now. ये भी एक fiction book है, but very different. मतलब इस तरीके की book मैंने पहले नहीं पढ़ी थी. This book, okay, so how do I put it? How do I put it without revealing anything? That is the thing. So yeah, I do not want to spoil the book for you. So this is one of those books in which you can just get lost. लोग कहते हैं ना कि मोस्टली लोग फिक्शन बुक्स पढ़ते हैं बिकॉज दे जस्ट वांट टू गेट लॉस्ट इन बुक्स और दे जस्ट वांट टू गेट लॉस्ट इनटू द स्टोरी. सो ये उस तरीके की बुक है. यू वोंट बी एबल टू पुट इट डाउन and you'll be reading it and you'll be seeing what is going on, क्या हो जाता है. You will be totally engrossed by the book, and yeah, you will get attached to this book. But it is one of those, जैसे मैंने अभी इससे पहले बात की थी 2x2 की, a casual read which you can just pick it up, read and have a good time. So it is like that, and I don't have anything much else for this book, but for some reason I just couldn't remove it from my list. I don't know why, because as I said, I got engrossed into this book. It was very engaging, and yeah, that's why this book stayed with me, and yes, that is why this book is here. Okay, so next book that we are going to talk about is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think this is pretty evident what this book is about, the 7 habits of highly effective people. And I thought, I should get this book. I wanted to become more effective as a person. So I got it, and it turned out to be great. This book has some very practical wisdom on how you can become more effective in your work, in your life. And I have applied many concepts from this book, and this book really helped me. So yeah, this book, that is why I absolutely love this book. This book has been divided in parts. First is about how from being dependent you shift towards being independent, and from being independent you can move toward being interdependent. बहुत अच्छी अच्छी टिप्स दी गई हैं, बहुत अच्छे अच्छे एग्जाम्पल से चीज़ें समझाई हैं ऑथर ने. And if you want to become a more effective person, then you can pick this book up. मेरे पास एक पूरा नोट है इस बुक का that I made while reading this book. So yes, if you want to become more effective as a person, pick this book up. Next book that we are going to talk about is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Now, I highly recommend this book because it's a brief history of humankind, and you should really know about these things that have been written in this book. I was so intrigued and blown away by all the things. मुझे पता भी नहीं था इतना कुछ हुआ है. इतना पता ही नहीं था. I was like, okay, ये भी हुआ है. Okay, this also happened. So, and that is why you should read this, because सबको पता होना चाहिए how we all evolved, what were the different stages, what all happened, how we reached from there to here. So that is why we should know our history, right? It is actually a brief history of humankind. ऐसा नहीं कि मुगल्स के टाइम से अभी तक की हिस्ट्री हो, या फिर उससे पहले से अभी तक की हिस्ट्री हो. इट्स अबाउट जब हम लोग when we used to live in jungle, when we used to hunt, वहाँ से यहाँ तक, how we came from there to becoming an organized society. So सब कुछ, the stages, how we came from there to here. So yeah, this book is massive, mind-blowing book, and thick also because इतना कुछ बताया गया है. So that is why this book is thick also, but the information is worth consuming. It is worth your time because you should really know about the stuff that has been said in this book. yes, definitely a must read. Okay guys, so these were the 11 books that are on my list. There are total 33 such books. जैसे कि इस वीडियो के स्टार्टिंग में हमने सोचा था कि हम एक वीडियो में शायद सब कुछ नहीं कवर कर पाएंगे, एंड या इट हैज़ ऑलरेडी गॉन लॉन्ग एंड आई डोंट नो फॉर सम रीज़न मैं भी आई थिंक ज़्यादा अच्छे से नहीं बोल पा रही हूँ. सो yeah, so we'll cover the remaining books in another part. There I'll talk about the remaining books. We'll try to cover all those books up and see which are the other books that are in my list which made a lasting impact on me, which stayed with me. So stay tuned. अभी तक जिन बुक्स के बारे में हमने बात की है उनके लिंक्स भी अटैच्ड हैं इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन. सो या दोज आर एफिलिएट लिंक्स, बट if you buy it from there you won't be charged anything extra, but that will really help me. So if you can, and if you like any book, do buy it from there. Thank you so much for being here, and don't forget to watch the remaining parts of this video. Stay tuned, and thank you for being here. Bye bye.